Hello friends, good morning. Today we discuss about topic RAID in operating system. RAID is a part of input output management, which is a subtopic in any input output management of operating system. So what is RAID stands for redundant array of independent disks. In last video we seen disk scheduling algorithms. So related to disk, RAID is redundant array of independent disks. Consists of 7 levels 0 through 6. Now RAID is a set of physical disk drives viewed by the operating system as a single logical drive. Design architecture of the RAIDs shares the three characteristics. Redundant disk capacity is used to store parity information, which guarantees the data recoverability in case of a disk failure. In RAID, data are distributed across the physical drives of an array in a scheme known as stripping. The term was originally coined in a paper by a group of researchers at the University of California at Berkeley. The paper outlined various configurations and applications and introduced the definitions of the RAID levels. Strategy employs multiple disk drives and distributed data in such a way as to enable simultaneous access to data from multiple drives, which improves I/O performance and allows easier incremental increases in capacity. The unique contribution is to address effectively the need for redundancy. Makes use of stored parity information that enables the recovery of data lost due to a disk failure. So basically RAID is used to improve efficiency, to remove redundancy, and while we are storing such data, reading or writing a data on a particular disk drive, in case of disk failure, parity information of RAID which allows us to recover the whatever data lost due to the disk failure. So these are the different RAID levels which is summarized in table that we can view or explore one by one, but this is the brief overview for RAID levels. Total 7 levels are there through 0 through 6. So different categories of these levels are assigned in a table. Level 0 having a stripping category, 1 having a mirroring, 2 and 3 having a parallel access, and 4, 5, 6 is defined in category independent access. Now description: 0 level description non-redundant, 1 level mirrored, level 2 redundant via Hamming code, third level bit interleaved parity, level 4th, 5th and 6th block interleaved parity, block interleaved distributed parity, block interleaved dual distributed parity. So in 0 level disk required number n, in mirroring level 2 of we can say that twice n, in parallel access in level 2 n plus small m, third level n plus 1, 4 and 5th n plus 1, n plus 1 and 6th n plus 2. What are the data availability through 0 to 6? Lower than single disk. In level 1 higher than RAID 2, 3, 4 or 5, lower than RAID 6. In level 2 much higher than single disk, comparable to RAID 3, 4 or 5. In level 3 much higher than single disk, comparable to RAID 2, 4 or 5. Level 4 much higher than single disk, comparable to RAID 2, 3 or 5. In level 5 much higher than single disk, comparable to RAID 2, 3 or 4. And in level 6 highest of all listed alternatives. Now large input output data transfer capacity, small IO request rate. So in level 0 very high, large input output data transfer capacity. In level 1, higher than single disk for read, similar to single disk for write. Level 2, highest of all listed alternatives. For level 3, same. For level 4, similar to RAID 0 to for read, significantly lower than single disk for write. For level 5, similar to RAID 0 for read, lower than single disk for write. Level 6, similar to RAID 0 for read, lower than RAID 5 or for write. Now small input output request rate. In level 0, very high for both read and write. Level 1, up to twice that of a single disk for read, similar to single disk for write. Level 2, approximately twice that of a single disk. Level 3, approximately twice that of a single disk. Level 4, similar to RAID 0 for read, significantly lower than single disk for write. Level 5, similar to RAID 0 for read, generally lower than single disk for write. Level 6, similar to RAID 0 for read, significantly lower than RAID 5 for write. This is the RAID levels in which capital N is equals to number of data disks, M proportional to log N. Here you can see that RAID 0 non-redundant, which is a stripping. RAID 1, which is a mirror, which also use stripping but which is also store the mirror image. In RAID 2, redundancy through Hamming code. In RAID 3, bit interleaved parity, as you can see that B1, B2, B3. In RAID 4, block level parity, block 0, 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see. In RAID 5, block level distributed parity. And RAID 6, dual redundancy. So now we are starting one by one RAID levels. First is RAID level 0. Not a true RAID because it does not include redundancy to improve performance or provide data protection. User and system data are distributed across all of the disks in the array. Logical disk is divided into strips. So RAID level 0, which is not a true RAID because it does not provide redundancy to improve performance or provide data protection. All the user data and system data are distributed across all the disks in the array. In this, logical disk is divided into strips, as you can see from this figure. RAID level 1. Redundancy is achieved by the simple expedient of duplicating all the data. That's why this level is also known as or specified in category of mirroring. There is no write penalty. When a drive fails, the data may still be accessed from the second drive. Principal disadvantage is the cost. It is the very costly RAID. So redundancy can achieved by duplicating the data. There is no write penalty. If drive fails, then data will be retrieved from second drive, but it is a very costly disk. RAID level 2, which makes use of a parallel access technique. Here also data stripping is used as we seen in RAID level 0, but where in RAID level 0 there is no redundancy, there is no protection, but here parallel access technique with a data stripping by using a Hamming code. Effective choice in an environment in which may disk error occurs. So RAID level 2 basically applies which uses the parallel access technique through Hamming code in environment where many disk error occurs frequently. In RAID level 3 requires only a single redundant disk, no matter how large the disk array, which employs the parallel access with data distributed in small strips, can achieve very high data transfer rates. So in RAID level 3, it requires a single redundant disk, whatever bandwidth or whatever size of a particular disk array having, size does not matter, which employs a parallel access with data distributed amongst these small strips, which can achieve the higher level data transfer rates. RAID level 4. which makes use of an independent access technique. A bit by bit parity strip is calculated across corresponding strips on each data disk, and the parity bits are stored in the corresponding strip on the parity disk. It involves a write penalty when an IO write request of small size is performed. So in RAID level 4, it is an independent access technique. Bit by bit parity strip is calculated across the data disk corresponding strip of a particular disk, where parity bits are stored, the corresponding strip on the parity disk, which involves a write penalty on IO write request of small size is performed. RAID level 5, which is a similar to RAID level 4 but distributes the parity bits across all disks rather than small part of a disk. Typical allocation is a round robin scheme, means a particular bits having a given time period for accessing has the characteristic that the loss of any one disk does not result in a data loss. As it is similar to RAID level 4, parallel access techniques are used if a one disk fails, there is no affection on another disk. RAID level 6. Two different parity calculations are carried out and stored in separate blocks on different disks, which provides extremely high data availability, which incurs a substantial write penalty because each write affects two parity blocks. As you can see from the RAID level 6 data figure, which is a dual redundancy, two different parity calculation are carried out, which are stored in different blocks, on different disks with a separate blocks, which provides the high data availability, which incurs a substantial write penalty because each write affects two parity blocks. So these are the all levels of RAID 0 to 6. Now moving towards the last topic, which is a disk cache. Cache memory is used to apply to memory that is smaller and faster than main memory, and that is interposed between main memory and the processor. This reduces average memory access time by exploiting the principle of locality. So disk cache is a buffer in main memory for disk sectors, which contains a copy of some of the sectors on the disk. So when an IO request is made for a particular sector, a check is made to determine if the sector is in the disk cache. If it is in disk cache, if yes, then request is satisfied via the cache, and if it is not in disk cache, means if no, the requested sector is read into the disk cache from the disk. So this is the overall concept while we are requesting for an IO, disk IO, how cache memory will be used, which is known as disk cache. Thank you.